What's going on YouTube? It's The Natural here, and today is the first installment of Throwback Thursday. Now, since I'm introducing you guys to a new schedule and new days and whatnot, I figured I'd just do some more introductions. So today we're doing the My First tag. We're gonna tell you some first times I did things, first time I owned things, etc. So with that said, let's get into it. What was your first car? My first car was a 1995. That's right, some of you guys weren't even born yet. My first car was a 1995 Toyota Avalon, white, with like, I think it had like tan interior. It was a really nice car, I actually liked it, you know, at the time. But yeah, now that I think about it, that was 1995, like that's crazy. When was the first time you got stitches? Believe it or not, it just happened like 1, maybe 2 years ago. I posted pictures of it, but I was playing basketball, a guy tried to do a move on me. He thought he created space, but you know my defense, too good, too quick. So he went to like hop past me, and blah, he just caught me right on the side of the eye. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of right there. We got like about 6, but luckily I have some thick ass eyebrows, so they kind of cover them up. But yeah, that's not too bad. I've never had like a serious injury where I need a lot of stitches, so yeah. When was the first time you stayed up all night and watched the sunrise? It had to be New Year's. I was always one of those little kids who was capable of staying up real late, but I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, one of those ages. I could remember staying up with my cousins on New Year's, drinking Martinelli's, you know, thinking I was a G, drinking out of a wine glass. But yeah, it was definitely on New Year's Eve. What was the first thing you learned to cook? Oh, it's one of two things. It's either macaroni and cheese, you know, like out the box, you know, you just gotta pour it in the water, add some milk, some butter, the cheese, all that good stuff, or it was tuna helper. One of the two. I know those don't like really count that much, but you know, you're still throwing it in the grill, you're still cooking up a little bit. But that's one of the first thing I ever cooked when I was a little kid. What was your first paying job? Well, my first job lasted 1 day. I went to one of those job agencies and I got a job, and it was funny. It was like at a truck stop place where they would stop and check inventory, and I don't remember where it was exactly, but I just remember it was all Asian employees in there, and none of them were speaking English. None of them. I was the only one. And I felt so out of place, and they didn't really instruct me well. They told me what to do. They gave me a big stack of papers. They're like, do this, 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 and that, and then they left me. And halfway through the day, I didn't really know what I was doing anymore. So I just started messing stuff up, and I just decided I didn't want to go back. So that was my first job. What was the first concert you went to see? First concert I ever went where I was like on my own, well, with friends, you know what I mean? To see people I like was probably Rock the Bells. Yeah, it's like a little tour of a lot of rappers. Who was there? I want to say Wu-Tang performed, Nas performed. I think I remember like Talib Kweli, but just a lot of rappers. It was like 100 degrees that day. People were like passing out of heat exhaustion. It was outside. It was bad, but it was also dope at the same time. So yeah, that was my first concert. When was the first time you shot a gun? Man, first time I ever shot a gun was while I was playing Time Crisis, because I've never shot a real gun before. When was the first time you threw a punch? Ooh, I'm gonna exclude the time when me and my friends, like as 8th graders, used to just go body shots and bruise each other up and go to school the next day looking like we got beat by our parents. First real fight, man, I was probably like 21. I was leaving a party. Some drunk guy was saying that I was touching his car. I wasn't touching his car. I remember I was driving my sister's brand new car, and he comes running at the car, and I'm thinking to myself, he's either gonna like come like get revenge by kicking, like messing up my car because he thought I was touching his, or he's gonna like swing at me through the window. I don't know, but I don't want my sister's car to get messed up, so I actually got out the car. He was rushing at me. It was obvious he wanted to fight. I didn't, but there was no way out of it, so I threw my hands up like this saying I didn't want to fight, but I was actually just doing that to prepare myself for the punch. So I did that, and when I saw that he wasn't letting up, he was coming at me full force, I was like, hey man, I don't wanna. Boom! I popped him. The guy was bigger than me too, so I had to throw the first punch. I didn't really have a choice. What was the first professional sporting event you went to? Dodger games. I've probably been to, I wouldn't doubt if I've been over like 500 Dodger games in my life. Like I go to so many Dodger games. It's my favorite place in the world, Dodger Stadium. When was your first regrettable hairstyle? Oh my gosh, it was like the day I was born. First of all, I used to have a mushroom cut. Then I used to have the part in the middle cut. And then I also had the slick back with gel and a comb look. which it's not as cute as it sounds if you're thinking it's a good look. But yeah, the mushroom bowl cut was bad, and then the part in the middle haircut was really bad. Wow, I had a really darky childhood. How old were you when you had your first kiss? My first real kiss was when I was like 14. I was a freshman. Me and my friend Patrick walked all the way to my like high school girlfriend's house, and she had her cousin there. And so my friend ended up like going off to another room with the cousin, and then me and my girlfriend, I was super shy. We were watching a movie, and then eventually we were standing in front of the kitchen saying bye, and I went for it. I dove in, cause I'm about to dive in, and I kissed her. That was my first kiss in the kitchen. Yeah, man. How old were you when you got your first computer? Oh man, does it count if it's the family computer? Cause you know, it's always a family computer, but I remember like maybe 7th, 8th grade, we had a computer and I had like AOL Buddy Chat. That just shows how old I am. I had my internet before AOL Instant Messenger even existed. You would have to use the Buddy Chat that was embedded on AOL, and you would have to log on because it was a modem. So imagine every day signing onto your internet, and then you'd have to sit there and wait for a minute, and it would be like dialing up. It would be like do 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 do, bam bam bam, do 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 do, and then you like go get water, waiting for the internet to sign in, and sometimes it like would cut off, so you'd have to go hit sign on again. Man, you kids don't know how lucky you have it. And the last question of the day is, when was the first time you ever stood up for yourself? Probably when I was like 11 months old. That was probably the first time I stood up for myself. You know, I was tired of crawling. I wanted to walk, so that's not what the question means, is it? Huh? Yeah, that was my list of first times, guys. And this was my first time doing Throwback Thursday on my daily channel. If you don't know, I have the new schedule. Music Mondays, Talk Tuesdays, Weekly Wednesdays, which is my vlog, weekly vlog, Throwback Thursdays, and Fitness Fridays. So if you only want to come back for certain days, feel free to. But if you're a real fan, you really want to support me, come back every day and hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you want me to do next week on Throwback Thursday. It's The Natural, y'all. Peace. 8:43.
Josh, you getting this?
Just chit chat before you film, bro.
Alright guys, so you guys want to hear something funny about Josh the Natural?